Good afternoon. Somebody shot off a bottle rocket somewhere. I want to talk about something, bring up a subject. The fireworks going on. This is fifth. There's some people I want to tell you how proud I am of you for standing up and saying, this is me, not them. But first, I want to tell you a story. When I was young, close to 10 years, my first job, my father operated a big industrial car wash. So when I was real young, I had to work at his car wash. No money, just had to work. He figured, you're in my house, you're eating my food, you're going to work. Even before I was able to clock in, I was buffing cars and stuff before I could make money for real, because it wasn't old enough to be paid, not with a paycheck. First job I ever had when I turned 18, I went to work in a slaughterhouse. And you think you've done a job. For close to 10 years I worked at that slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse in the back and in the front was a butchering facility where they'd cut the meat off the bone, put it in combos, 2,000-pound combos, and it'd go to Hardee's and different places. And then when we'd get done slaughtering, because we'd slaughter faster than they could bone them, we'd go up front and help bone them and everything. So basically, I was a butcher for a long time. Even worked for Kroger for a while. There was a man that I worked with. This man taught me how to work. This man taught me how to have respect. There was actually two there. There was a real old man who was his daddy, and there was him. And both of them. I even asked the old man one time, I said, why have you been working in the slaughterhouse all these years? He said, to have a place to stay, son, to have money and have a car. And they taught me how to work. They taught me, because at that time I'd get drunk and run my mouth, and they taught me don't do that. Which even took a long time after that before I stopped, but it stuck in my head. Now, his son turned out to be the best friend I ever had in my life, and I've never had one like it since. And I didn't see him for 20 years and 30 years. And last year I found out he passed away. And I had just found out where he was, and I was getting ready to go see him. And he died before I could get there. And I was told there was a whole bunch of people around when I was told, and man, I had to get out of the building and go walk in the parking lot. And that's one of the first times in a long time I broke down that this man was gone. It broke my heart. He would buy me lunch. I would buy him lunch. He would loan me money, and I never had to pay him back. I would loan him money, never had to pay him back. We were like fucking brothers, man. I would walk into a bar, and be the only white man in there, and nobody touched me because I was with Tommy Fields. And Tommy would hurt you if you disrespected him. And I don't care if you know Tommy. So, oh, Tommy went to prison for rape. No, Tommy was a good-looking black man. He didn't have to rape nobody. He slept with a white girl, and everybody found out, and she said he raped her. She said he raped her. And he went to prison. And everybody knowing it was bullshit. So let's jump forward where we are now. And you got black people standing up, good, decent, hard-working, just want to raise their kids and be a part of the community. And white women too, standing up doing the same thing, going, please don't judge us on these other, and they call their people that's doing this bad niggas. Now that's not, I've never spoke, my daddy was a high-ranking military man. I mean, went all the way, retired, and he kicked my ass if I ever said anything like that. We weren't allowed to talk like that in the house. I didn't know what racism was. We were in the military. Now, the Army may have had something going on like that, but not in the Air Force. It didn't happen. So I didn't know till I got to a Texas school and found out what racism really was. When I was sitting in a classroom and I had a black kid over here wanting to kick my ass, and a Mexican I couldn't even talk to. Coming from a country school in Tennessee when we'd moved to Texas. And I was raised most of my years in Texas. I'm basically a Texan. I'm back home in Tennessee, but now I wouldn't go back to Texas. But I want to tell those black man and black woman that's standing up against what's going on that I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I can't stand it. For standing up for yourself. Now, I'm a white man. And if you think they ain't white trash, oh my God, just because they don't do exactly like that, they do other shitty things. White people do. Like, if a house is on fire and a black man laying there with two broken legs, fell out of a building or something, couldn't go in there and get his children, don't you think I'd run in there and grab his children out of there, even at the cost of my own life? You better believe it. Got all my hair burned off, everything. Don't matter. They're precious children. Well, we got white people that wouldn't do that. They just run their mouth. There's nothing worse than a stinky-ass white person that wouldn't stand up for nobody. And there's plenty of them. But there's a lot of white people out there who love their fellow black man and fellow black woman, who act like they got respect. You know why they got respect? Because their mom and daddies taught them respect. And the ones out there that's acting like that, they don't have no respect because they wasn't taught respect. See, it comes in all nationalities, all sizes, all colors. A piece of shit comes in all nationalities, all sizes, all colors. It don't matter. So before you go running your mouth about any black person, calling them all niggas, you better learn the difference. And you know the difference. You're just picking sides just because you want to. Make sure you're calling the right person a racist. Or you're running your mouth on the right person. Because let me tell you, baby, niggas come in all colors. And that's a fact.